Welcome to Juggling Interviews. This episode is brought to you by eJuggle, the IJ's official online publication, where you can find the latest juggling news, articles, videos, and podcasts, just like this one. If you want to check that out, you can head over to their website at juggle.org/ejuggle, or with the link in the description. This episode is also sponsored by Play Juggling. On their website, you can find high-quality props like balls, clubs, rings, diablos, poise, fire equipments, flower sticks, glow props, and tons more. Head over to playjuggling.com and use my code XavJuggles, XavJuggles10, to get 10% off your next purchase. It's a great way to support me, so thank you a lot, Play Juggling. Now let's get to the episode. Hi guys, welcome back to Juggling Interview. Today I'm so happy to receive Sara Noelle on the episode. How are you doing, Sara?
I'm doing so good. I'm so happy to be here.
May I ask, who is Sara Noelle?
Wow, okay. Starting off the big question here. Who is um I could just tell you a bit about myself. So I'm a juggler. I've been juggling for a long time now, maybe 13 years. And I do a lot of other things too. Alongside juggling, I was a seamstress and made props and clothes and stuff, and it was a fun creative thing to do in tandem with juggling. Currently, I'm a personal trainer and I work in a gym and train people to get really strong, and I help people recover from injuries and stuff. So it's been a new thing. I've done that for the last year. And then I'm a cat mom. I have 2 cats. I'd say that encapsulates me pretty well. Also, I'm a big goofball and I have a really funny personality, so that's always good.
Yeah, I think that's so interesting. We might have to hop on that later with the training. And now you have a professional perspective on training and recovering from injuries, and we might have to include that with juggling. Do you mind if we talk about that later?
Oh, we absolutely can. It's super interesting and I love talking about this topic, so yeah.
Perfect. People might know this, but do you mind sharing how you started juggling? Did you get influenced by anyone? Did you see videos? How did it start out?
Yeah. So there are a handful of jugglers that started off in the EDM rave scene, and I'm one of those. I grew up in the Bay Area in California, United States, and in my late teens, early 20s, I was super into the rave scene, in the community, and would go all the time. And at some point, I saw someone doing. Well, we were really into light toys, like the finger lights and stuff, and I just always really loved that stuff. I loved having a prop with me. I loved being learning a skill. And then at some point I learned poi. I saw someone do poi and I thought it was amazing. Saw someone do poi on fire and was like, I need to learn that. And then at some point I saw someone juggling, and that really blew my mind. It was in the middle of the night at a festival. All I could see were the LED balls, and I was just mind blown, and I always wanted to learn. And then years later, I met a friend who was juggling. He was learning to juggle, and I was like, can you please teach me? And so we started learning together because he had been juggling for a little bit, and so we were kind of at the same level. Well, he had already been juggling for a bit, but we were both learning new. And then we moved to Oakland, and we discovered there were multiple juggling clubs and juggling festivals, and it was amazing, and we just got super into it. And then since then I've just continued to be involved with juggling. So yeah.
Do you remember which prop was maybe more interesting to you when you started? Did you have a goal in mind to do maybe clubs since the beginning?
Yes. Yeah, it was clubs. I wanted to learn clubs. I think because the shape, I just seeing a club, I was like, oh my God, how do you juggle that? And it was really hard. I remember learning to juggle three, and it was so hard, but I was so determined. It's I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna learn how to do this. Like, yeah, but it was definitely clubs right off the bat. But I also hadn't seen much else. I only knew of balls and clubs in the beginning. That was it. But I was drawn to clubs. So
Did you try out the poi and the light toys as you were saying? Did you mess around a little bit with that?
yeah, To be honest, when I got into poi, I wasn't super involved in flow arts. It was kind of just the EDM scene, and when I started, I feel like there weren't a lot of, at least I didn't know of very many like different types of poi. So we were just doing very basic. It was like a sock poi, like a sock
Mm.
with a tennis ball and like weighted, and then glow sticks on strings. And then yeah, I did not know about flow toys. I didn't know about anything until after I got into juggling, or maybe like in the beginning. And at that point, I wasn't as interested in poi anymore. I was more into juggling, or more into clubs and balls. So yeah, but if I had known that, like the world of, like if I had known about flow toys or what other types of poi existed, I think maybe I would have got more into it. But yeah,
Also, you got a lot into kendama. I saw
I
a
love Kunterbunt.
bunch
Oh
of
yeah, I,
clips of you doing kendama, and I don't know why, but I never knew that about you unless you started reposting some kendama stuff and trying, especially recently. I think this week or last week you posted a kendama trick, and that blew my mind. I think kendama is one of the craziest prop to juggle with.
Kendama's I absolutely love kendama. It kind of became my pandemic thing, like
Hmm.
skill to pick up. Um, I During the pandemic, or like when it started, it was nice to have. I mean, it was a hard time, but it was nice to have more time to train. So I was juggling a lot, and then I had just picked up kendama, and so I got really, really into it, and then got really involved with like the online community. Met some really nice people. Like there were some kendama players that sent me kendamas, and people were just really open, and like just through the internet. It was really cool. And I just really liked. I still really like kendama. I don't have the motivation to train, like to like learn a bunch of tricks like I did in the beginning. I think I spent 2 years doing a lot of kendama, and then slowly kind of tapered off, and then I got into hoop juggling. Um, so clubs are always going to be a constant for me. Like I love clubs, and I just put so many years into them. It's like I'll never abandon club juggling. But I did get into kendama, and then I did get into hoop juggling. I love hoop juggling as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and when you started out juggling, you were starting with balls like people usually do. But then, did you have like any inspiration, or like did you see any videos or someone around you doing clubs? And what is your first memory of like being starstruck with clubs?
Oh, I can tell you. So I was interested to learn clubs when I like saw the clubs, and the clubs that I saw were just a one-piece plastic club. I didn't know what other clubs existed. But the moment I was like starstruck and mind blown was my first juggling convention. And this was probably like a month or two into learning, like after I learned how to juggle. It was the Berkeley Juggling Festival. It was at Berkeley High School. I think this was 2012 or 2013. And I only went for a day, because it was close by. Like we just rode our bikes there, and it was free, and it was really cool. And I just walked into the gym and just saw a gym filled with, I think, only clubs, or maybe that's all like my. And I was just like stunned. Like I hadn't seen a club like this. I'd only seen the plastic yellow and black one piece, and I had a purple and white. Like I only knew about like the Walmart clubs, you know. And so to see a gym full of actual clubs, I was just stunned. Like I had no idea. And then people were so friendly, like, oh, I had my one piece with me. So they're like, oh, you should try these. I tried PX3s. Like, I'm sure someone handed me a Henry. I remember seeing someone with Albatross, really big club, like two people
Yeah.
passing. It was just really like, whoa. And at that point, I was starting to learn how to pass. So, but yeah, it was definitely Berkeley Juggling Convention. Yeah.
Did you see like the passing is impressive, right? I remember the first time I saw people passing is insane. Like the pattern looks so wide, even though it's like not as hard as we may think, but like
Yeah.
visually it's like super crowded. Like you see two people like doing many actions, and there's like so many spinning in
Mhm.
the air and everything. I think like as jugglers we don't even realize, but like clubs look so impressive just as themselves. like so many spins, and it's like a big stick, so it's like a huge thing in the air. Then like a ball is like just a circle up and down, right? Mostly.
Yeah.
So I do get the starstruck like vision of like having a whole gym with like passing, and you see everyone like just throwing
Oh
many
yeah.
spins in the air and everything.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, I'll never forget that like image of just seeing clubs, like so many clubs, like everywhere you look and people passing. Yeah.
And as you were starting to learn clubs, do you remember some of the tricks you were aiming for? Did you have like some dream tricks at the beginning?
It's really interesting because when I started, I didn't watch a lot of YouTube videos. I was just kind of learning within my environment. Like I was learning with my friend and I was going to two different juggling clubs every week and then like going to conventions or festivals and like juggling festivals and that was it. So my in the beginning because I didn't know of anything else, I was learning very traditional things and like I just was learning what I thought you were supposed to learn. It's like okay, cascade, okay, flats, chops, passing, doubles. So I think at the beginning it was more like maybe traditional style of juggling, because that's all we knew really. But there was a point. So in the beginning, I didn't have like huge goals. I just had like a trick list. It's like, oh, I want to learn. I want to learn all the tricks that jugglers do. I want to learn cascade flats. I need to get my doubles. I want to learn four clubs, four balls, five balls, whatever. And then like once I got more involved in the community after maybe a year or two, at some point that like really floaty radial style of juggling became popular and like everybody had white pirouettes and I was like, oh, I was definitely starstruck by this like floaty style of juggling. And it was interesting because I would consider myself more of a social juggler in the beginning. Like I love to pass. Like I was super into passing and like juggling people. And then at some point I got into like my own personal practice, like
Mm-hmm.
seeing this like style that I really liked and realized like, oh, I need to like put some time into this and got into my own like solo practice. So yeah.
It feels good to like like encapsulate what you know you could do, and like pushing down on that, and like developing your own style, and like it's
Mhm.
kind of like an intimate journey where you like you find what you like, and you can also like you have the full on liberty to like just drop something and like just stop trying something, and like you shape your juggling style yourself. And I do think there's something that helps with clubs because it's so versatile, right? You can like you can have the you can have some very radial style, like you say, with a lot of movement and like spins and flats and everything, but you can also have some like tech, like very fast tech tapping stuff, like maybe some even the back crosses. There's so many like movement involved, like body throws. And with balls, it's similar, but I think like even I was a ball juggler for like 3 years before I picked up like a four club fountain. Like so
Mm,
when you know how to do a three ball, you kind of know how to do a three club, and then
mhm.
from there, like my own club journey has been like crazy inspiring. And I remember like seeing some of your videos, and also I don't know if you remember, like maybe a year and a half ago, like we called and I was trying to show you some of the tricks I learned with like some flats. You remember I showed you a routine.
I do remember.
I do remember trying so hard to do like these kind of flowy movements, because I was never a movement juggler, even with balls, because I always did like some small box tricks and like fast stuff, but never included body movement or anything. Like I think that the
Hmm.
club journey in that kind of style is so like beautiful and humbling. So man, I just love it, and I thank you so much for I want to thank you for helping me with that kind of journey. Even though it was a couple texts, couple calls, but even just your posts and the inspiration you gave me for club juggling. Like I think that's maybe why continue doing clubs. And right now I do mostly clubs. I don't really
Hmm.
post clubs, but I do mostly clubs in my practice. And yeah, I think you kickstart that journey for me, and I love that so much.
Wow, that's what the siren does. That is so cool. Like that makes me so happy to know that I inspired you in some way, and was super happy. I loved our calls. It was really cool to see what you were working on and to offer you whatever I could offer you, like, and to hear that I kind of helped you start that journey. That's so cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Not me. Thank you.
No, thank you.
um, maybe it's a bit of a out of pocket question, but do you have any fun memory of a convention or like a trip you did that you want to share? Do you have any random anecdote?
Ooh, oh my gosh. Okay, there's a lot, but there's one fond memory I have. It was from EJC. It was in 2019 in Newark. I was by myself. I went to EJC by myself that year. And I was just, it was like middle of the day. I'm in the gym, and my friend Mark runs up and grabs me, and he's like, "You need to come to this jam." And I was like, "Okay," and like grab my clubs, run over, and this, there's like like a trick share happening, and I just, first of all, my having my friend grab me and bring me to this group of people, I just, it was really validating because sometimes you can feel like a little fish in a big pond at EJC or like in a convention. It's like, maybe you're a great juggler, but you still feel like, oh, I'm a little out of place or something. And it was really validating to have my friend bring me to this group of people. And it was like a pretty skilled group of club jugglers, trick sharing. And like, it was just, it was really, really cool. And like the tricks people were doing were insane. And it was just a casual trick share, And this is something I really, really like about like in-person conventions is you just see some crazy stuff. Like not everyone posts everything on the internet, and sometimes it's just you have this thing in the moment where you get to just share something you're working on, and it's just so cool. So that was a pretty fun memory. There's a lot more, but that one has stuck with me over the years.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I felt that with my first festival, and maybe I want to jump on that. Do you remember how you felt in your first festival, your first juggling convention? Was it the one you said in Berkeley in the high school?
Yeah, I mean that was my first festival, but it was really, I don't know, I wouldn't consider that my like first
Mm.
because it was memorable, but it was, we were there for like a few hours, and it was like we knew about it, and it was like we just popped in and out. I mean, it was still very impactful, obviously, like I'll never forget that. So I'm pretty sure the first actual juggling festival I went to after that was the Humboldt Juggling Festival in Northern California. And it was awesome. Um, at that time, there were a lot more jugglers living in Oakland, and a lot of so I live at the Vulcan right now, and like when I first started juggling, I was at the Vulcan a lot, and there were a lot of like big flow artists like that were doing a lot in the flow community. So a lot of good jugglers, a lot of good flow artists were living at the Vulcan, and then people on the West Coast, like so many people came to Humboldt Juggling Festival that year. Then it was really good. And for my first like actual big festival, it was really, really fun. And I like met a lot of people that I'm still really, really good friends with today. And like um all of it was great. It was like the gym, the energy in the gym was good, a lot of good tricks. The gala show. Actually, I don't remember much of the gala show, but just a long time ago. But I know it was good. The Renegade was hilarious. I think that was my first Renegade, and it was so memorable. I think it's still one of like the better Renegades that I've seen. Yeah, and it was beautiful. It was in Northern California in the redwoods, like super pretty. It was really fun.
I missed my
Yeah.
first Renegade. I remember seeing the first Renegade is life changing. It's so fun.
Oh, it was life changing. It's like what are people doing? This is what jugglers do. Okay, this is ridiculous. I love this. Yeah.
Did you have the feeling of being like the small fish in the ocean, like especially at a big festival with big jugglers coming from everywhere in the U.S.? Like, do you remember like were you scared when you started like sharing with jugglers or yeah?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Definitely felt imposter syndrome and all that, or just like feeling like such a newbie, like, and I was training a lot and I was really into juggling and just felt really shy.
Mm.
But it didn't really stop me from talking to people too much. I still like was able to connect with people, and there were a lot of really nice jugglers that were way, had been juggling for years that approached me and were really, really cool and like showed me tricks and asked how long I'd been, like inviting me into the community. So it was a really good first impression. And actually, I've always felt like the juggling community is pretty, at least like in my experience, those first few years. I've met some really, really great people that have been very welcoming and very, made me feel like good to be a part of the community. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, little fish in the big pond. Yeah, definitely felt that a lot over the years.
I think, especially yeah, I don't know. I've seen like some very very like beginner like jugglers coming to. I only went to one festival, which is Turbo in Quebec here, but I
Oh
keep
yeah,
going. I keep going, and it was so fun to see. Like even people are not even shy. Like they don't even know how to do three balls, but they're so open to see what's going on, and like they're ready to learn. Like I think that's so impressive to me. Like I don't know if I would go to like a skate convention just barely knowing how to stand on a skate. But I think that might be the impression the juggling community gives off. Like, just come. Like, I will just show you.
yeah.
Which I think is a huge green flag for us.
It's a huge green flag. And I love seeing beginners that get into juggling, whether they're like beginner or they've been juggling for a year or something. Um, it kind of like it makes me more excited about juggling. It's like people like showing up and just they want to meet you, they want to meet all the people, they want to learn everything is brand new to them, and just seeing that like determination and excitement to like do whatever tricks they're working on and think about the future, like see people perform, like oh maybe I'll try that. It's so cool. I love that energy so much. So
I don't know if I ever said that on the podcast, but I remember maybe the second time I went to Turbo. Um, I still didn't have clubs, like actual real size clubs, and I still had the yellow ones, like you said, like a one piece yellow plastic clubs. And I remember I was mostly doing balls, but then some lady was asking if she could juggle my yellow clubs, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, go for it. And then at the end of the festival, since I tried other people's club, like real size clubs, I was like, you know what? She was learning how to do clubs. I gave her my clubs. So my first did we say a pair? A pair of clubs, even though it's three?
you could say pair or set. Sometimes I'll say set.
Yeah, so my first set of club ever, I decided to give it because I found it so beautiful the way like she was like so
Yeah.
close to do three clubs, and I was trying to think in her shoes, like I would feel like I don't know. I would feel like bad to like not being able to like finish what I started. Like the festival would end, but then she was like that close to do three clubs. So yeah, I think I just love seeing beginners at festivals. It's just so fun how open they are and the way they
Yeah.
share with us, and like it's crazy. Like sometimes people have been going to like many festivals and they still like enjoy just sharing, and they don't even post. So that's the I think it's so cool to see like how many people don't even like interact online or anything. They're just like here every time, but they just go social. Like they're a social juggler without even posting, and it's just so cool to like.
Hmm.
It almost feels like a video game. You try to talk to as many people as possible, and you gather all the stories because you won't even see them
Hmm.
ever online or anything. So you just have to like gather them in festivals and like get to know who they
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it
Um.
feels going to well, when I can, I'll go to Europe and go to EJC or to whatever convention, and that's always how that feels. Because first of all, it's a completely different community, and like there's so many people that just they don't have an internet presence, but they go to all the conventions, and it's just cool to it's cool to meet people and see who they are and what they do. Yeah.
May I ask? Yeah. Before you went on the physical training professional journey, do you remember when you were like juggling a lot of your time? Did you ever consider doing full time juggling and like putting in a career into that? Like, probably
Yes.
you probably had a career, but like, did you thought about like prolonging so till your old age?
Absolutely. I still think about it. I still want to do it. I still would like to try. Um, so before the pandemic happened, I felt very motivated to just put everything into juggling. And my juggling partner at the time, we made an act, and it was really good, and I felt really good about it. In my mind, it felt like the beginning of that. It's like, okay, we made this act, we're gonna tour this act. I'm gonna keep making acts and like keep being more involved with juggling. And then the pandemic hit, and then we were supposed to debut our act that year, and didn't happen. And then once things opened up again, started performing again. But I think that that there were a few weird years. And, I probably yeah, things just kind of changed, and then I don't know. I lost a little bit of that motivation, I think. But now I feel like I'm getting it back, and yeah, I've my whole juggling like journey. I've thought about doing it full time, and I still would really, really like to do it. I just need maybe some help or something. Like I need to like write down some goals and make some promotional material or something. But I think it's possible. I just have to put the effort in to do it. So, yeah.
How did you get into the training journey? Did you have that in mind for a couple of years before actually going into it?
Yeah. I've always been into fitness and like, health and stuff. And I have a friend who's a trainer, and so I like seeing her kind of grow her business from the beginning, like years ago. I always thought like, oh, it'd be cool to do that. And I think I'm a good coach too. I like to help people, and also seemed like an interesting career path. Like because I wasn't super happy with my jobs over the years. Aside from sewing, I loved sewing, but I was starting to get burnt out a little bit, and so I needed like a new path. And so yeah, finally, a couple years ago or a year and a half ago, I finally I went for it. It's like, okay, I'm gonna just try it, and like got my certification, and then applied to work in the gym, and just completely pivoted. But yeah, I had thought about it for a bit before.
And how do you enjoy it right
And
now?
I really enjoy it. It's great. It's very rewarding. It's still very challenging. There's still a lot to learn. It's interesting meeting different people. I have a bunch of different clients, and they all have different needs. In general, I would say my goal is strength training with people and just getting people strong and building muscle. Um, and then I do a little bit of nutrition coaching. I'm just not a certified like nutritionist, I guess. So I tread lightly there, and I let people know. But yeah, I really like it. I mean, thinking about where I was before this and feeling really unhappy with the jobs I was doing, and then now it's like, yeah, there's days when I don't really want to go to work. Um, but I get there, and it's great. I love the gym. It's fun working in a gym. Like, I work in a private gym, so it's pretty small. It's never super crowded, and so whenever I don't have clients, like I'm just in the gym, like I can use the equipment, I can like stretch, I can work on programming, and it's in a good location too. So I really like it. It's been really nice. Yeah.
And as I mentioned, as I mentioned at the start of the episode, did you ever do some parallels between weight training and some juggling aspects? And do you have any tips maybe that worked on you or you tried with other jugglers? Yeah, how does your professional work right now influence your juggling, and how can it help your health and the way you juggle maybe?
Yeah. So before I started personal training and like actually working in a gym, I wasn't doing a ton of like weight training. I was working out, but since I've been working in the gym, I got a lot more into lifting, and I love it. Like I love lifting weights. I like working on different parts of the body. And I noticed my juggling got a little easier. Like I think so I think for jugglers especially, like having core strength and good shoulder health and back strength helps a lot. Like having good mobility in your shoulders, and then having, yeah, a strong core and strong back kind of helps your posture. It just gives you more. movement, like freedom of movement. And I just noticed it was easier to work on tricks because I had my endurance was better, my posture was better, energy levels better. So yeah, I mean, if there are jugglers out there that want some advice for like, you know, something they can do to improve like with their body, improve their juggling, I would say do some shoulder mobility, a little shoulder mobility every day, a couple of core exercises every day, and then if you have access to a gym, doing some like back pull exercises. If you are doing body weight at home, I would say work on doing a lot of push-ups. Yeah, doing like a bunch of doing squats, strengthening your legs. All of it is super helpful because basically you're just making your body, you're just putting your body in a really good functional state so that you can do anything and it's not like taxing. It's not like, oh, it hurts. Like I'm sick of bending over and picking up my clubs. Like it doesn't, it's fine. You know, your body's functioning. It's not hurting your back. I know a lot of people do like desk work and it ends up hurting
Mm.
their traps and their shoulders and their low back. And a little bit of movement can really help that. So yeah, so definitely it's great. It's definitely improved and helped my overall health. So
Yeah, yeah. I think there's a lot of yeah. I think I heard it a lot to work your core for jugglers, which is yeah, it's a recurring theme. I think do you have any maybe other maybe niche training tips, maybe in the gym or maybe in your actual session that maybe people are not like directly focused on, and do you have something maybe niche that we might not know that could work really well for someone that's trying to unlock another inch of
yeah.
progress?
Yeah, totally. So I would say a niche thing might be more mobility training. So I truly think doing like shoulder mobility exercises can help a lot. So I don't have, actually, I can grab my resistance band. Hold on.
No
Let
issue.
me grab it. Okay. Okay. So a couple niche things. This isn't like brand new information, but maybe not everyone knows. But having good shoulder mobility will help your juggling a lot. And so one thing I do every day, and you can do this with a band, you can do this with a like PVC pipe. But basically I have a band here and I pull back and forward and I do 10 of those and then I do like these. So basically I'm focusing on movements where my rotator cuff is getting some movement. Um, and I do this every day. And doing this before you juggle, like even if it's like 2 sets of 10 of each thing, super helpful. For core exercises, if you have access to any weights in your house, doing a weighted core exercises is going to it's going to speed up your progress. So any core exercise you do is good. Just make sure you're doing like a little bit every day. But for instance, if you're doing, I really like doing Russian twists. It's like where you're sitting and you're leaning back and you're twisting. That with a heavy weight is really good. So basically, we're getting the thoracic spine movement here, which is really, really good for your back and really, really good for your core. Then you add weight and it just amplifies that. It just gives you a little bit more muscle, a little bit more, it's just like a little bit more resistance training that it just kind of, it makes you stronger, basically. So another interesting weird one is doing like a farmer carry or a suitcase carry. It's like grabbing a super heavy weight on one side and standing up and then walking a couple laps on each side. And you want it to be challenging. You want to keep your shoulders back, keep your posture up, and do a couple laps on each side. And that'll really help with like stabilization. And then another niche one, it's more a lot of people get into these with when they have like a rotator cuff tear. But basically it's a good shoulder warm up and a good shoulder like rehab type of thing. But so you would have the band attached to something on the side and you would hold and you would keep your elbow at your side and you would do internal rotations and then you would do external rotations and then also you can do pull aparts. You can also do this with no weight. You would just tense your body and imagine you're pulling. So you would be focusing on mind muscle connection, and that's a whole nother subject. But yeah, being really intentional with your movements is also good. So whatever exercise you're doing, rather than like passively like, pumping them out, thinking about what you're doing, what muscles you're trying to engage will help a lot too, and like make you feel more connected to your body and whatever the movement is. So yeah.
Do you have this a similar thing when you're juggling? Do you try to like p- connect your mind with the movements you do, so then you envision like maybe the throw you're gonna do, and then you have more
Yeah.
precision when it's time to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. It's like I'm on this forever journey to perfect my forward subs, and it's like every year I'm like inch my way closer. But yeah, I have the pattern in my mind, like I know what it's supposed to look like, and so with every throw, I try really really hard to put the clubs in the right place, and so it's like especially this underarm throw. It's like I know it needs to follow the others and I need it to make the shape. And so I think about where I need to throw it from, the position of my hand, all these things. Yeah, so it's the same thing. It's like I'm not passively training.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. And this makes me think of five hoop training as well, which is something I got into in the last couple years. That one you have to be so intentional about it. You can't just like eat the
Yeah.
hoops, you have to, your flash has to be those first three throws have to be good, and then you catch and you reset, and it's a lot of effort, but it's more work if you're not focused on
Mm-hmm.
each thing and the position. Yeah.
And I think that applies to like most of the patterns. Like even when you're doing rings, it's like so hard.
Mhm.
Just even though you have like your hands are like so crowded, you have like so many things to hold, but you have to like
Mhm.
put precision in the first like couple throws before like the pattern's just going. And you have free hands to like continue your thing.
Yeah.
And I think
Mhm.
like that's like especially critical with hoops because hoops are like gigantic, so you have to
Oh my
make.
gosh.
I never tried to do like more than three hoops, but I just imagine how hard it must be to like even throw with precision or even enough height. It must be so heavy.
It's heavy, and everyone has different approaches to the start. Like some people start with them at their side, some
Mm-hmm.
people have bundles, some people fan them, some people split them. Like so you kind of have to take all these things and then decide what you want to do and just stick with it. And yeah, but it's a lot.
From the last episode, Mark Williams gave out a question for you to answer,
Okay. Oh.
without knowing it was you next. So Mark's question was, who is someone inspiring in your juggling community, in your juggling sphere, that inspiring to you, someone important to you in your circle?
Ooh, in my own circle.
It could be
Um,
circle, even like online circle. Depends.
okay. Wow. So one thing that we didn't talk about here was I recently organized a convention in Austria called Kunterbunt, and it was for Flinte people, and Flinte is a German term, means female, lesbian, intersex, non-binary, transgender, agender. Anyway, so we did it in Austria, Southern Austria, and I met a lot of incredible people. I knew most of the people that were in attendance, but the people that did show up, we had about 50, were all amazing. And so those people are the first to come to mind when I think about somebody inspiring. Um, hmm. So yeah, I would say Florence Schroeder, Flo came, and they've been somebody that I've connected with a bit more over the years, and they really, really inspire me. I've always loved their hoop juggling. They don't put juggling out so much anymore, but they're very involved. They have their Yana magazine. But I just really, really appreciated their presence and their help with our convention. And I think they had like a lot to offer. And we were all new. It was a very new experience. And it was juggling, but it was also like emotional. And it was also like, we were trying to help, we were trying to create a safe space, all these things. And I think their presence was really nice. Like they were like a calm presence, and they also had a lot of like great things to offer and help us as like a convention and as a community. And they've done a lot in the community and continue to do that. And so I would say right now they're one of my big inspirations.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. I love it.
Hmm.
And do you have a question for the next guest without knowing who's coming next?
Yeah. Okay. So my question is, what is um so I was thinking on like creativity. What is something weird you're working on with juggling right now? Like could be a good weird, bad weird, or whatever. Like something that is kind of strange, but that you're interested that you're working on right now.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to hear. I don't even know myself who's next, but I'm excited to hear the answer for that. Thank you.
Cool.
As we're slowly closing out the episode, do you mind sharing what's going on with you in the present moments? What can we expect from you in the near weeks, in the near months?
Oh, interesting. I would say I have been feeling motivated to make a video and like film and make a video. Definitely won't be in the next weeks. Um, but maybe in the next couple months, I will make a video and probably start sharing more juggling, but it's a little bit more uh curated, not just like quick clips. I want to like put like intentionally film some things. So that's what I'm working on now. Yeah.
Nice. Do you have some maybe Instagram stuff that might be happening for people following you online or even on YouTube? Do you have
I have my Instagram account. I'm always pretty active there. I don't always like post a ton, but I'm pretty active there. Goddess423 underscore. And then I would also plug my convention that I have with my two friends, Steph and Sophie, Kunterbunt Juggling. That's what it's called. It's linked on my page as well. And then that's it.
everything will be
I don't have a lot of other social channels. I pretty much use Instagram. I like Instagram, so yeah.
everything will be in the description if anyone's interested. All of Sarah's social is in the description, and I'll put the link for the festival. Yeah, before we close out, do you have anything we haven't spoke about? Do you want to shout out someone or do you talk about a subject?
Yeah, I just want to talk about Kunterbunt one more time
Yeah,
because
for
that
sure.
was one of my biggest like. I mean, I being an organizer for this event was truly, truly special, and in some ways it feels weird. Like it feels like a fever dream because I went to Austria and it's so far away from here, and then this whole thing happened, and then I just came back to the U.S. and have been fully involved in my everyday life. But it was such an important thing, and so I just want to give a shout out to my team organizers, Steph and Sophie. I'm so proud of us for putting on this convention, and we're going to do it again next year for people curious. And so it was just a monumental thing in my life to be a part of the production of this thing. So it was really special. So I just wanted to shout out our convention, Kunterbunt Juggling Convention. Yeah, so it'll happen again next year, and hope to see people there. So.
Do you have the dates in mind? If people are listening in the couple,
Yeah, so
yeah.
we're still deciding, but it will very likely be either right before or right after EJC because it's very, very close to Slovenia. It's like an hour and a half, so it'll be very close. So we have to figure that out soon, but it'll be either right before or right after. So.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll have that posted in the description as well if people are interested with that. It's so cool. Also,
Mhm.
like I know there's a lot of jugglers that go to a major convention and then do some small ones next to it. Like there's often a couple conventions next to each other, and it's so
Mhm.
fun because you get to meet so many people, even the people that don't travel. Like if someone lives in Austria, it's so fun to have like a convention next to them. They don't have to like
Mhm.
travel super far. Also, not every juggler has the financial means to go to a festival abroad. So it's cool to have
Yeah.
some festivals like located not in like just the major big cities and like the same countries every time. So I love the initiative to have that in Austria. It's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I did it because my friend was already living there and she had the resource. They have the resources, but yeah, I totally hear you. It's not something accessible to everybody, so um, yeah, it's a thing. But actually, yeah, hopefully, there will be more affordable, accessible conventions in the future. I know that there already are a bunch, but yeah, I'd love to see more of that. So, mhm.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you for coming on the
Yeah,
podcast. Thank you for your great insights.
thank you so much. This is so much fun, and thank you for hosting. And I look forward to watching the episode once it's aired.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks everyone for watching till this far in the episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and like every time, have fun juggling.